Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening, and thank you so much for being here. It's really exciting to look out and see the faces of so many friends, including many of you who have traveled long distances to be here. I'm deeply honored to be standing in front of you here tonight. Since becoming a lawyer in 1987, I've estimated I've attended 20 of these events, including Orrin Harrison's back in 1992. And I often wondered what it would feel like to be standing in front of a group like this giving the speech. Well, I now know, and it's pretty terrific. Before I begin my remarks, I want to thank some special people who are here tonight. First, I want to recognize Scott McElhaney for his outstanding year as 2014 DBA President. Scott was responsible for many successful projects, including the three-part commemoration of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He did a truly outstanding job as president of our association. Scott, we've got a certificate for you.
Thank you.
Wow. Big one.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Please help me recognize Scott McElhaney for his service to the DBA. It takes so many people to run a successful bar association, and in particular to put on an event like tonight. I want to personally thank our executive director, Kathy Marr, and her dedicated staff who make our organization look good. I also want to give a special shout out to Rhonda Thornton and Shauna Bush, who have worked hundreds of hours planning, preparing, and implementing for this event. Kathy, Rhonda, Shauna, and the rest of the staff, please stand so we can thank you. When we were planning the agenda for tonight, I decided that rather than a prayer for the invocation, I wanted to hear a song. Molly and Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your gift of music with us tonight. Every time I hear you sing, it makes me happy. And Mark Sales, thank you for taking the time to learn the chords and play your guitar for us tonight. One of the best parts about preparing for this program tonight was sitting in on the jam sessions between Mark, Molly, and Ashley. They were covering everything from the Beatles to Green Day. And I'll let you in on a secret. If you attend Law Jam 5 next August, you might be able to hear them play again. Didn't they sound great together? I've been practicing law at the same firm for 27 years. It's the only firm I know. And without a doubt, I would not be standing here tonight without the support of my law firm, Locke Lord Edwards, LLP. When I started as a new associate at Locke Purnell Rain Harrell in 1987, there were 7 past and future Dallas Bar Association presidents at the firm at that time. They included Morris Harrell, John Estes, Harriet Myers, who was our first female DBA president, Orrin Harrison, Elizabeth Langmyers, Tim Mounts, and Frank Stevenson. Each one of these presidents has had a significant influence on me and my legal career. And to this day, I still consider Harriet, Frank, and Tim to be among my closest advisors and mentors. I am so honored to have so many of my current and former Locke partners and colleagues here tonight. They include my fantastic secretary, Pat Pateman, who has worked with me now for 16 years, and also the other co-leader of our antitrust practice group, Randy Hack, who traveled here from our Chicago office to be here tonight. If you currently work at Locke Lord or have worked at the firm in the past, would you please stand so we can recognize you? The final group of people I want to recognize may be last in order, but they are first when it comes to the most important people in my life. They are my family. I am so lucky to have Eldon and Jeannie Weber as my parents. They drove here from Ames, Iowa to be with us this weekend. My dad is a retired soil conservationist. He also taught in the College of Agriculture at Iowa State University, which is his alma mater and mine. My mom is a retired school teacher, and they have been great role models for me. They always love me and support me in everything I do. I'm also thrilled to have my brother, Brian Weber, and his daughter, Maddie, here tonight. Brian is a project engineer for a large construction company in Iowa, and he is right in the middle of a big nursing home project in Des Moines, but he made time to travel to Dallas for this weekend. Brian and Maddie, I really appreciate you being here. Unfortunately, my youngest brother, Brent, is back in Ames, caring for my 95-year-old grandmother who could not travel. I know they both wanted to be here, and they are here with us tonight in spirit. I'm also so pleased that my wife's parents, Clark and Betty Williams, were able to travel here from Virginia to be with us. And now I've saved the best for last, my beautiful wife, Katie, and our 5 kids. In addition to being an amazing mom and wife, Katie is a trial lawyer at Wilson Elser, where she specializes in copyright and trademark litigation. In her spare time, she represents pro bono clients through the DVAP program, and in fact, this week she took on a new pro bono case. She truly is my best friend, and her love and support have made me a much better person. Thank you, Katie. My oldest son, Ward, will graduate this spring from Indiana University. Ward is the co-captain and the starting goalie on the Indiana lacrosse team. He's also been busy this winter break filling out law school applications, and he plans to enroll in law school later this year. Next comes my daughter Molly, who you all met earlier this evening. In addition to her singing, Molly excels in dance, theater, and volleyball. She is a junior in the International Baccalaureate Honors Program at Woodrow Wilson High School in Dallas, my Lakewood friends, and she plans to study nursing in college. Katie's son, Alex, is a 5th grader at MIS in Highland Park. He's my partner and the brains behind our Locke Lord fantasy football team. Alex loves to play baseball, soccer, and cheer on the Texas Rangers. Katie's daughter, Lauren, is a 3rd grader at Bradfield Elementary in Highland Park. I always enjoy watching Lauren perform, including soccer, dance, and gymnastics. And then comes our son, Brody. God blessed us with this precious little boy 5 months ago today. Those of you who are my Facebook friends are probably getting tired of seeing his picture plastered all over Facebook. He is so happy and loving. I could go on and on about Brody, but fortunately for you, I have a time limit on my speech. Will all of my family who are here tonight please stand so that we can recognize you? During 2011 and 2012, I served as our firm's hiring partner in the Dallas office, and I saw firsthand the many challenges that law students and new lawyers are facing today. As the parent of a soon-to-be law student, those challenges are again fresh on my mind. Let me give you a few sobering statistics. Based on a recent Illinois State Bar report, the average new lawyer graduates with $100,000 in law school loans, which can balloon up to $200,000 when factoring in interest, undergraduate debt, and bar review loans. The same Illinois report also noted that the high debt load carried by the average new lawyer is negatively impacting diversity in the legal profession, as many minority students can't afford to attend law school. Also, those with large law school obligations are more likely to commit ethics violations and are less likely to engage in pro bono work. Many new lawyers go months without finding a job, while others take jobs that don't require a law degree or salaries that are too low to meet monthly loan payments. New lawyers today also have fewer professional development opportunities. Traditionally, law firms have trained young associates, but firms are now less willing to train their new lawyers because clients aren't willing to pay for it. When I started thinking about what my theme should be for 2015, I kept coming back to the idea that we, as a bar association, really need to assist this new generation of law students and young lawyers. During the past fall, I had the opportunity to meet with a number of law school deans, including Dean Jennifer Collins from SMU, Dean Darby Dickerson from Texas Tech, and Dean Royal Ferguson from UNT Dallas College of Law. We discussed the challenges that are faced by current law students, and we brainstormed about ideas for how the DBA can assist law students in overcoming these challenges. Among the ideas that appealed to me and that I plan to implement this year are a law student advisory committee comprised of students from our local and regional law schools who can meet with the DBA leadership and provide unfiltered information about the challenges they face and how the DBA can assist them. We also talked about a debt counseling conference that will focus on options for law students and young lawyers to better manage their student loan debts. And perhaps most importantly, I want to have a renewed focus on making sure that all law students feel welcome when they enter the Belo Mansion, and that we provide them with many good reasons for joining our association. Another way we will assist new lawyers is through the existing Transition to Law Practice program. This program was the brainchild of Justice Doug Lang and Frank Stevenson when he was president back in 2008. The concept of the program is to match experienced lawyers with new attorneys at the beginning of their legal careers through a series of group presentations and one-on-one mentoring. The program provides new lawyers with the necessary essentials to start their legal careers on the proper path. This year, the Transition to Law Practice program will include a number of new features. Earlier this week, I had a meeting with all 29 section chairs of the Dallas Bar Association. I asked them to assist us in locating qualified members of their sections who will agree to serve as mentors for the new lawyers enrolled in the program. As an example of how this will work, if a young criminal attorney wants to participate in the program, we plan to match that young lawyer with an experienced member from the DBA criminal law section. By enlisting the support of our sections, we should be able to better match young lawyers with more experienced attorneys who practice in the same field of law. I've also asked the section chairs to consider creating a young lawyer division or committee within their sections this year. These young lawyer divisions could serve a number of purposes, including the better integration of young lawyers into the DBA. I also asked the sections to consider assigning members of the young lawyer divisions to present at least one monthly CLE program this year so that they can get more exposure and speaking experience. Another suggestion is to award scholarships to the young lawyers in their sections to attend the DBA Bench Bar Conference in the fall or the State Bar annual meeting this summer. I don't want to leave you with the impression that the only new projects and plans for 2015 involve law students and new lawyers. Through the hard work of our 34 committees and 29 sections, the Dallas Bar Association will continue to provide outstanding service and benefits to all members of our community, including lawyers and the general public. In addition, in 2015, we plan to focus on another segment of our community with the creation of our 30th DBA section. The DBA currently does not have an immigration law section, despite the fact that Dallas is now the home for over 350,000 foreign-born residents. Our own Sarah Saldana recently was appointed to head the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. And immigration law reform is one of the high-profile legal issues in our country today. We already have formed an immigration law study group, which is the first step in creating a new DBA section. That group will begin meeting later this month, and hopefully by September, it will have completed all of the requirements necessary to become our 30th DBA section. The creation of this study group comes at an ideal time. I received a letter just last week from the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice seeking our help in recruiting DBA volunteers to represent unaccompanied children in immigration proceedings. This will be one of the first issues that our new immigration law study group will consider. Before I conclude my remarks, I want to let you in on a secret. I love to watch the Academy Awards program. One of my favorite parts of the program is when they scroll through the names of the famous actors, directors, and filmmakers who died during the previous year. It's an Oscars tradition that allows us to remember and honor the people who entertained us over the years. The Dallas Bar Association has a similar tradition. At the DBA's annual meeting in November, we scroll through the names of our members who passed away during the prior 12 months. It's also a time for us to remember and honor the lawyers and judges who served our association. In 2014, we lost some of our greatest bar leaders and members, inspirational lawyers and judges, including Judge L.A. Bedford Jr., Professor Alan Bromberg, Adelpha Callejo, Judge Jeff Cohen, Ken Fuller, Blackie Holmes, Ray Hutchison, Bob Mao, and Ambassador Robert Strauss. As I sat and listened to the names of all the great lawyers and judges we lost during the past year, the thought occurred to me that Dallas's new generation of lawyers may just as easily include a similar group of extraordinary leaders. But without our help, all of our help, the next generation of potentially great lawyers and judges may not reach their full potential. It is my sincere hope that in 2015, this great bar association will come to the aid of a group that needs our help, our next generation of lawyers. Thank you again for being here tonight. I hope you will stay and enjoy our celebration. Good night.